I know I've said this before. The Dyad practice has been a very important part of my life, both personally and professionally. I've used it often for improving personal relationships, both mine and for those others whom I help and who I've counseled in life. I use the Dyad practice for diffusing emotional disturbances and healing disagreements. I've used it for deepening understanding about oneself and others. I've used it for creating clarity of thought between yourself and others, both personally and professionally. I've used it for deepening into my own self-reflections on who and what I am. And I encourage you to do the same. Oh, you don't know what a dyad is yet. Okay, I'll explain. Here's an overview. A relating dyad, or a dyad, is a formal communication exercise for improving your ability to relate with others. A formal communication exercise to improve your ability to relate with others. It encourages good communication, honest communication. It encourages in-depth self-analysis, and it teaches you good listening skills. It really helps build affinity between you and others. The Dyads are useful in many ways, and I'll continue explaining those many ways throughout this program. I know you're going to find benefit. I have. Many others have. The technique that I use is called a dyad, and that's what I use to help two people in a relationship. In my book, Knowing Yourself, I've listed over 100 mindful dyad exercises to help you explore and experience, preferably with a partner, who and what you are. But you can also do this as a self-reflective journaling experience or art expression in your relationship to these different areas of self-inspection. That I'll be telling you more about as we move on in the program. I've been teaching students and clients and friends about this practice for many, many years. Many have benefited from it. Some have taken it up, some have let it go. I've taught it to hundreds, if not thousands, of ordinary people seeking help for relationship difficulties and for those wanting relief or release or resolution to their pain and their suffering and their confusions in life. This practice helps one take the time to deeply self-inspect and communicate what's going on in that little head and heart of yours. I've taught it to many, many participants at the Enlightenment Intensive Retreat. They've been using it to help deepen their practice and focus their attention on meditation and on direct knowing of who and what they are. It's the main practice that I use, the enlightenment technique, and I'll talk more about that later in the program. So whether you're seeking enlightenment, spiritual union, or you're seeking to resolve your day-to-day problems of living life and work and family and love, the Dyad practice can be helpful, very helpful. And I know it is helpful. I've been doing this for several decades now, and so I've got a few qualifications, some of which I've just listed to you, a whole bunch more you could learn about in my biography. Well, since I've taught this technique so many times, I've got many, many audio files, video recordings, text documents, print documents, much material that describes how to do the relating dyad practice. So I'm going to enlist them to help me, to give me a helping hand. They're like old friends of mine, to help me teach you how to do this dyad practice. So I'll be calling them forth and referring to them at times. Several years ago, I published a book describing how to do the dyad practice. It's called Knowing Yourself, 100 Self-Awareness Exercises. It's available from Amazon Books. You can get a copy there. I wrote the book to help explain how to do the relating dyad practice. In that book, I've included over 100, that's over 100 self-awareness dyads that you can do either with a partner or a group of friends or at a workshop with other participants, or you can do this alone while meditating and contemplating on the self-reflective dyad. The dyad technique that I teach was originally developed by Charles and Ava Berner in the 1960s. It was Ava Berner who originally came up with the idea of using the dyad process. She thought it would be a good idea to use it for a group so that only one person, the facilitator, could facilitate many individuals who are involved in self-inspection and communication, and they could partner up with the other participants. So if you happen to be a group leader or a facilitator, then this practice is ideal for you and your work. This self-reflective dyad exercise, in my book that I've printed, they were created originally at the Institute of Ability in the 1960s, and many others continued to be developed over the years by other individuals. So in my book, I've organized the dyad exercises into groups of self-improvement programs, some of which you could see now along the screen here. We'll take a look at them. And the power of this technique is after you learn the principles of the relating dyad practice, you can create any self-reflective dyad exercise on any topic or issue for your self-improvement needs. This can be especially useful for counselors, therapists, seminar leaders, or anyone wanting to use the dyad exercise for a specific issue. You just design the instructions specific to the issue you're dealing with. That's what the over 100 of them in the book do, but you could create your own. So whether it's for Alcoholics Anonymous or the church youth group or the seminar that you're leading for the sales team, as I said, you can create a self-reflective dyad around any subject, any theme, any topic. The very first chapter teaches how to do the relating dyad technique. That's the heart and core of the whole book, all the chapters in the book. That's where we want to begin. And I'm going to begin there now, teaching you that technique.